Where you sit at?
Okay, we are ready for our next presentation. Are all our judges there? I'm very excited about this. We have never had anything quite like this at the symposium before, and so we're excited to hear John's presentation. And Dr. McElroy is going to give us an introduction of this project.
Thanks, Jan. So I was chosen as a beta tester for the Fold Scope. It's an origami microscope that you can take into the field with you. And I was chosen, I believe, in 2010, and I wanted to do research, and I had to teach, and I didn't have time. Until I had John as a student, and he decided to do the research with me, and we had so much fun, and he took it to a whole different level, you know, get my brain with a young brain, and it's awesome. So he made this stand, he designed the stand for the Fold Scope, and anyway, I'll let him tell you more about it, but it was awesome to have John as a research assistant, or leader sometimes. We learned together with this, so it's pretty awesome. The Fold Scope is now at, how much money did it was a Kickstarter.
Yeah, the Kickstarter said that they pledged $50,000 that they wanted to raise to start mass producing these and getting them out, and they raised $393,000.
Wow.
So a lot more than they had previously hoped.
So now they're going to be available to the public, you know, so I'll let John introduce the rest.
Good morning, I'm John Wippler. I am a senior here. I'm pursuing a Bachelor of Fine Arts in painting. I'm just going to read my quick little excerpt and then kind of jump into it, kind of winging it. The Beauty Beneath Our Feet, Things Unseen, is just the title that kind of brings us in and kind of lets us know what we're looking at. I mean, a lot of people have seen, especially this being like a science symposium, a lot of people have seen stuff like this before that's scientific and microscope-wise, but this is such a different thing because it allows the user to get out of the lab and not be locked into microscopes and inside. They can take this thing anywhere. This is how the Fold Scope starts. You get in it's just a piece of paper and then you fold it up into this little origami kind of shape. So it allows you to just slide in. There's there's two options. You can view it through sunlight, or there's like a watch battery on the back. It's got like a lens that pushes light through. So the naturalistic world has always been very important to me. I've always been an avid hiker and explorer. To me, there's nothing more enjoyable than being outside and being overwhelmed with nature. And while in the Marine Corps, I was able to develop an even deeper love of the world in these places that I had visited and traveled. Through this project, I was able to portray a deep fascination with the world around me. And in the summer of 2016, Professor Allison McElroy and I embarked on a mission to see things that we and many others had not seen. And through my art, I was able to share and explore those things we saw. We collected hundreds of samples of dirt, bark, leaves, bugs, and various other materials for the purpose of viewing on the Fold Scope paper field microscope. We were selected, or she was selected as a beta tester, and kindly allowed me to join in with her. I created a series of artwork. This is just a fraction of what I had. I've created, I think, 20 to 25 of these small paintings with the attached slide to view what was seen on the slide. So when we started, it was just kind of like we didn't really know where we were going, what we were doing. We just had this paper microscope, and we were like, all right, let's check everything out. So for probably about 2 months, I was the weird dude on campus that was picking through bushes and looking through picking up stuff off the ground, and people would walk by and be like, what's that guy doing? And I'm just stuffing leaves in my pocket for months, just putting leaves in my pocket. I'd wash my clothes and I'd just be crumpled up leaves. So this is the Fold Scope. This was one of the shows that we did demos for the entirety of Jacksonville State University if they wanted to come see. This is an image of the light coming through the Fold Scope. We just had some slides. We had a workshop down at Catalyst on Noble Street, and it was really fun because it allowed people who had also never seen things like this before to come through and really get hands-on. They built their own microscopes. They took their own slides. They mounted slides, and then they were able to image from their cell phones. And this was the idea behind the stand was when they sent the Fold Scope, you had the two options. You had the sunlight or through the light. And the only way that you could view it was to take it and put it directly on your eyeball. and you had to like crush it in your eye to even see anything. So we started playing with, can we lay our phones out, maybe use the camera to view through our phones, and so through all that, we were like stacking books and putting books on top of our phone to like hold it in, and we were trying to finagle this fold scope under the camera light to see. So I built this stand that allows me to go up and down, and then it's only attached on one side, so I can pull up and pull down. And then it's attached to like a pair of headphones with a little, I'd like tape the button down here so you can like click and take pictures as you're viewing. So that's an example of like what you would see on the phone through the microscope. That would be what it looks like if you're outside trying to look through it through your eyeball. We got some more photos here, like workshops, stuff like that. This was our show down at the Visual Arts Society at Catalyst. That was some of my stuff. This is some kind of Jagaloon posted up. I don't know what that is. Another show. And then this is some examples of my favorite things that we had seen. When it started, we were just picking up all kinds of leaves, everything we could find. And then we started looking for like deformities in leaves, like things that were eaten up or burnt, and this was actually a piece of bark that had like a piece of leaf on it. So what we were really interested in seeing was stuff that didn't have anything to do with leaves or bark. I mean, if I showed you this, would you tell me that this is a piece of bark or a leaf? I mean, it looks almost galactical, you know. So, and then we started looking to see what colors and shapes we could find that you didn't see just through the naked eye. This was like a piece of a reed, and that was what was so much fun for us, was things that didn't look like they should look, had these blues and these reds and these greens. And that's what kind of sparked the series of just portraying what we saw. And then there became this fascination with finding what we call bug stuff. No, we're not scientists, we just call it bug stuff. So anytime we would find and then what was weird is you're looking at a leaf that's the size of a quarter, and you see this bug on here, and it's like, it's kind of freaky. You know, you got these microscopic bugs just crawling around and everything. I didn't know what this is. This one was cool. And then here's another example. I think this is an ant. I don't know. But we had so much fun with it. It was more of going out and being out in nature than being stuck in a classroom. And we were able to take everything we saw and look at it there in the field, and then paint and draw from there. And I think that was the most fun for us as artists, instead of having to take everything back to a lab and, you know, analyze everything and mount the slides, where we just take these paper slides that they had and stick a piece of tape on it and view it there. I'm going to go ahead and airplay this to the TV and get a quick demo. Okay, so I'm going to try and make this happen. So the stand allows me to place my phone and then bring the scope up to the camera of the phone. And since our phones are so high developed now, the aperture allows it to focus onto what we see. And then say I got something interesting as a shot, I could click the headphone jack that I have taped at the bottom ever so eloquently. That was what was so interesting for us, is we just, I mean, I don't know what any of this stuff was. We had to go down to the science department and say, what is this, what is this? And they're like, that's just a leaf. They're like, okay, cool. Then we come back like the next day and we're like, what's this? They're like, that's some dirt. Like, okay, cool, that's fine. So some of the stuff, we had a lot of trial and error. It took us probably a solid month and a half to realize what we could and couldn't see. Because some stuff, the magnification just wasn't high enough, or it was too dark. So I think that was the best part of it for us, was really just the exploration, just going out and seeing what we could find and seeing what would work and what didn't work. We traveled to like 3 or 4 different national parks looking for things, and it was a really good time because it was summer and all the really, really colorful things were still out, and that's what allowed us to get the best of our images. But we had a lot of fun with it. I don't know anything about microscopes or anything, so this was fun for us. And that was the whole point behind it, was to get microscopes in the hands of people who didn't have them. or who couldn't afford them, because they market this as a 50-cent microscope. So for 50 cents, anyone in the world can have a microscope and see what we see now on the screen. And it helps if you have, you know, like an iPhone or some type of imaging station. So something like that, you know, you wouldn't think that this is some dirt. You know, it just looks completely devoid of anything like that. So that's really all I have. I'll go ahead and get my final slide. Oh, it's not there anymore. Anyway, thank you guys so much for your time. Professor McElroy and I had an incredible experience this summer. We really enjoyed getting to do this, and I really enjoyed today sharing it with you guys. So thank you so much.